How can Scentsy change my life? The future in direct sales. So, we have income, relationships, confidence, skills, leadership, training, opportunities, support, self-gratitude, tax returns, and family enhancement. Now, of course, these are just some of the life-changing benefits of Scentsy. They're the ones that we're going to go over. There's a lot more, but these are the main ones that I think matter the most when it comes to the future of direct sales and the opportunity that Scentsy has. So we start by saying that you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. That's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, if you don't take the chance, then you have no possibility of succeeding. So we're going to keep that in mind as we go through the life-changing experience of Scentsy. So when we're looking at direct sales, obviously the biggest thing that you are going to look at is the income possibility that comes behind the company that you're looking to sell for. The market and demand for direct sales continues to rise. I think it's a smart idea to be a part of the movement while it's still in its growing peak. Your pocketbook will thank you. With Scentsy in specific, you're paid monthly, and there's a large area for promotional growth, which means that when you start, you're getting paid at a lower percentage than what you'll be paid as you continue to advance on in your business. Now, for exceedable sales margins, that just means that the margin in order to stay active with Scentsy is not only very possible but exceedable. I think that it's very easy to get the margin that they are asking of us, and it's even easier actually to go above and beyond the margin that they've given us to meet the sales expectations. So as for the sales margins, I think that it's perfect and right where it needs to be. Obviously, as with any direct sales company, you're going to get the benefits and commission that come along with your sales and your team and all that. You will get the savings on the product. If you're already a big user on Sensi product, then you're going to be spending quite a bit of money already on your own product. So I don't see why you don't profit off of your own sales. It's the perfect system that you have going on. Kind of, you buy your own business supplies, you buy your own product, you get to enjoy it, you get to share it with people, and you get to earn the money back on it and save on the product that you're buying on your own. So that's a way that you can kind of affect your income, is with the savings. And then with tax returns, once a year you will get huge tax returns from being self-employed. Self-employed individuals actually have one of the highest tax rates. So you can claim things like your mortgage and your gas and your car payment and your internet and your phone bill and all those things like that. Business clothes, your kids' clothing, travel expenses, anything like that. A good accountant can twist it back and get you some of that back on your return. So there is real money in home businesses. So the next one is relationships. In my opinion, Sensi's a family. You will build relationships and form bonds with other Sensi independent consultants. You will form those bonds with your customers and with your downline, people that you sponsor especially. The pride that you'll feel as they succeed will be beyond the pride that you feel when you succeed. And most of all, you'll get to share in your success. So I have down here in the corner, you can watch me succeed or you can succeed with me. Choose wisely. Basically, that, again, is self-explanatory. As I succeed in my Sensi business, you can either sit by and you can wonder, is she actually making money? Is she actually succeeding? Is she actually doing anything productive with this Sensi business? Or you can take the plunge and you can come along with me and you can succeed with me and you can try it out. And if you don't succeed, then it was just a trial and error situation. And if you do succeed, then you changed your life the same way that I did. And you'll never regret that decision. So the next one's confidence. And I'm just going to wait for my picture to load. It says, confidence is a stain you can't wipe off. I think when you're passionate about something, it gives you confidence, and that's going to be what drives you to succeed. And those are two things that nobody can take from you, your passion and your confidence, especially if it's something that you feel really strongly about. And when we're talking about Scentsy in the direct sales field, confidence and passion is something that's very important. You're not going to want to sell for a company that represents something that you don't believe in. And 9 times out of 10, if you're going to take the Scentsy opportunity, Scentsy is going to be something that you're already passionate about. Whether you're passionate about it because you use it, or you're passionate about it because you like the idea of selling something for safe fragrance, high quality fragrance, and beautiful home decor all mixed into one. Those are some things that some people might like, even if they've never tried Scentsy. I know a lot of people jump right into the business before they've even tried it. So it says here, bitten by the Sensi Bug. You might have been wondering what the Sensi Bug is. Of course, this bug is a figurative bug, but just because it's figurative, it doesn't make it any less real. The Sensi Bug will come along at a different time for everybody, but it will come along, and it will bite you. And when it bites you, it's going to affect your success. So we don't want to use any repellent. We want the Sensi Bug to bite us. Because when you do get bitten by the Sensi Bug, you're going to catch Sensi Spirit. And your Sensi Spirit is contagious. Your Sensi Spirit is what you're going to pass on to your customers and to your future recruits and to everybody that you meet along the way. And as you share your Sensi Spirit, that's where you're going to come across success. And your confidence is built by your success. So that's what brings us back to the whole confidence thing. When you're wondering, how does Scentsy have anything to do with confidence, and how can you gain confidence from the Scentsy business? And you never know when you'll get bitten by the Sensi Bug. It could happen the first time you try our product. It could happen the day that you decide to take the plunge into the business while you're waiting for the starter kit and researching all of the things that you can do. It could happen when you get your starter kit and you get a chance to actually sit there and smell all of the scents. It could happen when you meet your first goal, or even when you set your first goal, when you start coming up with ideas on how you can grow your business and how you can make it happen. When you catch the Sensi Spirit, it sticks, and it creates confidence. And that's the moral of this whole thing. You will get bit by the Sensi Bug, and it will spark confidence. Why do you want confidence? Well, you want confidence in life for a lot of different reasons, but when we're talking about the direct sales field, you want confidence so that you can expand out of your comfort zone, kind of like I'm doing right now by making this video. You want to be able to expand out of your comfort zone so that you can speak to new customers, and you can grow your business outside of your family and friends, and you can build a team, and you can feel confident when you're training the consultants on that team to do the same thing that you're doing and to succeed the same way that you're succeeding. And every single goal that you meet and every single time that you do better, you're going to build more confidence. And it's basically a cycle, because you want the confidence and you want the success, and your success is built from confidence. And so basically the biggest thing in the Scentsy business is your confidence and your Sensi Spirit, and it's all mixed into one. Your passion for a product, and your passion for sharing that, and your passion for sharing the opportunity like I'm doing now, and letting people know that it's a lot more than selling a product, and that it can do a lot more for your life than just enhancing your income. So referring back to our list, the next one is skills. And so I have this quote here that says, "And through experience, skills are acquired." And that kind of goes without saying, I guess. Practice makes perfect. We've been taught that since we were a kid. And I guess that's kind of why and how we build skills within the Scentsy business and any direct sales business. You, of course, become familiar with the product and the frequently asked questions about those product, and you're eventually able to answer those questions without even thinking about it. And it all becomes second nature for you. So you might be asking yourself, what skills would I gain through direct sales? And I have here advertising, customer service, entrepreneur skills, leadership, profit strategy, sales pitching, setting and meeting goals, independent marketing, local tax info, and time management. So how will you develop these skills? Well, for advertising, I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. Advertising is the biggest part of the whole thing. You will be advertising your product that you want to sell. You'll be advertising when you have openings for party bookings. You'll be advertising the opportunity, and you'll be advertising these things all the time. Every time that there's a new product that's released, every month there's going to be specials that you're going to want to advertise. You're going to want to advertise when you're placing your orders and when they can save on their shipping. You're going to want to advertise that you're a Sensi consultant in general so that you can gain your customer base. And you're going to learn the skills in advertising, and you're going to notice how your advertising improves over time, and how the things that you say and how you marketed your specific product affects your sales. So then we have customer service. Customer service plays a huge role in the direct sales field. In my opinion, I think you actually practice your customer service directly one-on-one a lot more than you would in, say, a retail location or somewhere like that. Customer service is really important because it's the only way that you can actually grow and maintain your customer base. If there's, say, 10 Sensi consultants in your area, or 10 Avon sales reps, or 10 unique presenters, and you're trying to sell that product, you want to make it so that your customers and the people that you know are coming to you to get that product, and feeling safe that if they're interested in selling that product, they feel like they could be successful if they're joining under you. If you're someone who never knows how to answer their questions, or seems to be spending a lot of time doing other things that aren't really positively affecting their business, then you're just going to go and find somebody else. If you have somebody who is taking your money and waiting days and days to place your order, again, you're just going to find somebody who places it right away. And those are things that people are looking for when they're buying something that they can only get through direct sales, because it's comes to where we say that the direct sales field is so different than what the modern day technology is used to. We're used to walking into a store and picking out what we want and then leaving with it and being able to enjoy it right away. And now we're kind of gravitating towards a time where we choose what we want and we wait a while to get it, and the anticipation builds up, and by the time we get it, we're so excited that we enjoy it that much more. And I think that the reason for this is just because it's a lot more convenient. There might be the wait time, but you are helping personal families grow in their business, and you're still able to enjoy your own product while supporting people that you know and helping them do what I'm doing right now. So your customer service is practiced that way a lot. Your customer service is practiced when you are doing your pickups and your drop-offs, and when you're answering questions for customers, like I said, when you are talking to customers about really anything, talking to your hosts and training your hosts and making sure that the Sensi experience is something that they're going to want to do again and it's positive for them, and you want to make sure that just everybody that you come across, you're considering that they could possibly be a customer. You have to have your business face on almost 24/7, whereas when you work somewhere else, it's kind of you go into work for your 9 to 5, and from 9 to 5 you have to be friendly and put on a smile. But when your home is your business and anyone that you come across could be your customer, you kind of have to keep that work standard going at all times when anybody could be watching. So moving down our list, the next one we have is entrepreneur skills. And I think a lot of these are pretty straightforward. When it comes to entrepreneur skills, I mean, that's one of them. An entrepreneur is someone who is self-employed and creating their own income. So once you plunge into the direct sales industry and you're succeeding in that, you're already considered an entrepreneur. So of course the skills that come with being an entrepreneur are going to be something that you're going to become familiar with, along with all of the other skills that we've kind of been discussing. It's more trial and error and getting familiar with things, and a lot of these skills kind of are developed from your experience, just like it said in the past slide there. So to be an entrepreneur, you need to have a certain mindset to know what you want to do and what you want to accomplish with your business and how much you want to make and just the way that you want to approach the whole thing. So there's a lot of different entrepreneurial skills that come along with the direct sales business. So now we're on to leadership. Leadership's a big one for me. It's a skill that I personally gained quite quickly along my journey that I didn't think I was going to develop any skills in. When we talk about being a leader, we kind of talk about developing skills in training and being patient with other people and relating with other people and thinking about ways that we can help others be successful with what we're doing. And of course, the reason that that's an aspect in direct sales is because if you're going to be wanting to build a team or signing anyone up under you, you're going to want to help those people to be successful. You're not just going to want to sign people up and then kind of let them go off on their own, because then what was the point? You're going to want to develop a strong leadership right away and kind of take those people under your wing and help them out. So leadership was on our main slide of benefits that come along with the business. So we are going to go talk about that a little bit more later. But for now, we're going to move down the list. And the next one we have here is profit strategy. And with that one, it's, I guess there's not as much profit strategy training when it comes to Scentsy in specific, because you don't really have any major need for a stock or anything like that, but there still are skills that you'll gain in profit strategy when it comes to just planning things like what do you want to spend monthly in order to still enjoy the product and make sure that you're not spending too much, because when you sell something, you're supposed to be getting it for free or for very cheap, right? So those kind of things are important. And when you think about your profit, you want to kind of have an idea of what you're going to make next month, and you want some of it to be relatively predictable. So you're going to want to strategically plan out what you have to do in order to profit the way that you want to. So doing the math for your points and what you need to sell to make a certain amount and how many people I need to recruit to make this sales margin and things like that do play a part when you get a little bit farther into the business. And you will develop a few skill sets there. So that's profit strategy. And when we're moving down the list again, the next one is sales pitching. And that one's a big one too. You're going to be practicing your skills in sales pitching literally right from the beginning. It's actually the very first thing that you need to consider when becoming a Sensi consultant. How are you going to let everybody know that you've decided to sell Scentsy? How are you going to get the word out there to even start to develop a customer base and tell people? How are you going to word when you're placing your orders and finding out when's best for the people that you know? And things like that. And you're going to be using sales pitching when it comes to wording the opportunity and letting people know if you're going to be building a downline and things like that. And sales pitching will start to come very natural. And it kind of goes back to the advertising bit that we discussed at the beginning. It's practice, and over time you'll notice how specific sales pitches that you make will make a difference in your sales and your income at the end of the month, and how people react to the certain things you say and how you put things, and just a lot of different aspects when it comes to the sales pitching part of direct sales. And that's, like I said, with advertising, something that will come very naturally over time. Setting and meeting goals is another big one for me. Before I started selling Scentsy, I never made any real goals for myself. I mean, I knew what I wanted in the long term or the short term, but I never actually set goals and planned to meet them. And I also never realized how important it was to do so. Right from the beginning of jumping into Scentsy, you have goals that you're going to want to meet, and right from the get-go, it's going to be, how can I get my shooting star? How can I get my sensational start level 1, 2, or 3? How can I stay active? Maybe your first goal will be getting that first customer or getting active for the first time. Goals start right from the beginning. Then comes promotions and goals on what you want to meet for your sales margin that month to make what you want to make and to do what you want to do. So setting and meeting goals is something that you'll do literally every time you meet an old goal. You will set another one. And it's very important to actually take the time to even write down these goals and figure out how you're going to meet them. And again, that's something that I never realized until I actually started doing it and started seeing the results in that. So for your setting and meeting goals, that's a huge thing that you will develop a lot of skills in when it comes to any direct sales field, but Scentsy in specific. I think I don't know how it works with other companies, but we have lots and lots of incentives that set you towards making goals. So just for every aspect in your life, again, these skills can follow you in a lot of other ways, because it's not just Scentsy. I'm now making goals in every aspect of my life, even when it comes to getting my son to gain some weight and get more protein into him, because he's so picky with eating meat. And I set that goal, and I gave myself a deadline, and we met it. And it's things like that. The longer I would have put it off, and the longer I would have stressed out about how to get him to eat more meat and get more protein into him, how do I figure out a strategy for this problem, I could have sat on that forever until he started school next year, and my worry grew and grew. But instead, I just tackled it, and that was my goal. He needed to get more protein into him, no matter how it was that I needed to do it. And when we set the goal, we actually made it. So it happens in every aspect of your life, like I said. Setting goals is very important. In order to meet those goals, you need to actually know that that's what you're working towards. Independent marketing is the next one on my list. And that's not to say that you don't have support within the Sensi community and your coworkers and online and all that. That's just to say, when I say independent marketing, it's because it really is an independent thing. You need to independently decide how hard you're going to work on it, and you need to independently go check for the news and independently decide completely how you're going to run your business. So just this is another one of those kind of self-explanatory ones, I'd say. It's you will gain the skills in that, and you'll gain the skills on how to grow your business on your own. And it back again to the entrepreneur skills part. These kind of all roll into one. These skills are something that you might want to use later on in life if you're thinking about doing any kind of entrepreneurial career in the future, because you'll know how to do it on your own and from the ground up. And it's a little quote that I hear all the time in the Scentsy world. We all paid that $150, and we all got the same box of stuff, and it was what we did with it that mattered. So we independently took that box and we independently marketed it, and it's what brought each consultant to the place that they're at now, wherever that may be. So the next one here is local tax info. That one's very self-explanatory. You're just going to know the local tax info if you didn't already. And what I mean by local tax info is just what the tax rate is, what kind of things you can tax, what kind of things you can't tax. Am I going to tax somebody if I sell them stock? You're going to learn very quickly how to calculate that tax if you didn't already know how. Just things like that for your tax info. And for tax returns, I've mentioned that before. You'll know what kind of things you can and can't claim, and you'll know kind of how much you're going to get back on a return, and just things like that. So that's it for tax info, and now we're actually on the last skill that I have listed here, which is time management. And that's another big one that I gained from this business. I worked from home in 2 areas, not just Scentsy. I also do college from home, and I'm studying medical transcription, and I have my son. So I need to be able to balance those 3 things, and I'm also looking for a 3rd job right now. So I need to be able to balance all of that and manage my time so that I'm successful in all of them, and that I put in enough work to succeed in my school and to still make the amount of money that I want with my Scentsy and still get the points across that I want to get across monthly and things like that. So time management's big. And then at the end of the day, I still need to make sure that I have the most time to spend with my son. And that's the beauty of working from home, is that you get to flexibly set your own hours and you get to work around what works for you and your family. And I'm lucky enough to have an amazing babysitter who helps me out while I'm at school. So I'm able to manage my time pretty effectively, and those are skills that I never would have learned if it wasn't for the direct sales field and just the working from home industry in general. And I definitely needed some time management training. So yeah, moving on. The next one I have is leadership. And I told you that we would be going back over this. And where I already did discuss it a little bit, I'm not going to spend too much time on the leadership thing, because we've kind of gathered that you're going to gain a lot of skills in leadership, and gaining that is a benefit to me. So that's why I have it on my benefit list, because of course gaining leadership and confidence and all the other stuff that I've been mentioning is a huge benefit. And you're not just going to use these benefits in the direct sales field, you'll be able to take them with you and use them in other aspects of your life. So here this picture says, showcase leadership and not ego. Now this picture actually has a story behind it. It's not just a picture that I found on the internet. I like to make my own imagery. So when I went to find a picture to use for the leadership slide, I Googled leadership. And I got both of these images that came up. And at first I was just going to use the bottom one, because it's the first one I found, and it seemed good to me. I mean, it does showcase leadership. It's the red guy, who's obviously the leader of the team, or in Scentsy terms, he would be the superstar director, leading his downline from the front of the group to success. And then on the top, we have another group. And the superstar director, as we're going to call him, is standing in behind the group and guiding the group with his hand. And the reason that I thought that this was so much better to use is because it actually got the point that I was going to try to get across without me even needing to. It's pretty strong when I put the 2 images together. The leader in the back is standing alongside of his group, and he's kind of going with them to success, and he is guiding them to succeed with him. And the one on the bottom, he's successful, and he's leading his team to success. but he's making it there first. He's not focusing on his team. And if you look in the picture on the top, one of the blue guys is actually in the front. And that's kind of the way Scentsy works. You could sponsor someone and they could do better than you, and that's actually a good thing. You can be their upline and they can be higher ranked than you. And that's what you want. And if you're a leader who doesn't want that, then you're showcasing ego. And you want to be the one that's at the front of the group. And you want to remain the one that has that title, instead of just guiding your group to do good. And that's where we come into the leadership skills that you're going to gain. Because you have a lot of people who start selling Scentsy or another product, and their initial thought, and this is me too, I'm not taking myself out of this, their initial thought is that, why would I want to sign someone up and lose those sales for myself? And once you realize how things work in the direct sales industry, you realize that that's not the case at all. And you'll realize that you do want to grow a team, because that's the best way to be successful yourself. And you want to put your business at a place where you're comfortable and where you can take time to relax for yourself and it's not going to affect your income. So you do kind of want that downline to be able to support your business when you can't. And some people call that a pyramid scheme. And what a pyramid scheme is the person on the top is making all of this money, while the people under them are making very small percentages of that money for harder effort. And I mean, in a way, I can see why people would think that. But if you think about any job, it works the exact same way. You start out down here, let's say surgery. A lot of people know about surgery because of Grey's Anatomy. So we're going to use that. The people on the bottom with the one money sign, those are going to be the interns. And the people under them are the people who are still training in school, college and university, and getting their training, and they're not making any money. But once they get up to internship, they are going to make some money. And the people on top of them, they're taking their time to train the interns. Those are the residents. And the residents are putting a lot of stress into training those interns. And though the interns are working harder, that's because they're training themselves to someday get to the point of residency. And once they get there, then they're going to reap the benefits from it. Promotions and higher paychecks. And then again, as you move up the scale to doctor and then surgeon in a specific field or chief of surgery, that's the boss. And of course the boss is going to make more money. But the beautiful thing about direct sales and running your own home business is that everybody is their own boss. And you don't have to feel like you are forcing people to run a business the way that they don't want to. All of these people underneath of the one on the top, yeah, they're making a little bit less, but someday they're going to be there, and all of the work is going to come down to be a positive. And it's all going to be worth it. Doesn't matter that some people said that you were stuck in a pyramid scheme, because you're going to push your way to the top of that pyramid scheme, in quotations, and then nobody's going to have much to say, because it doesn't matter how you got there. You're still successful, and you're still doing something that a lot of people said that you wouldn't be able to do. So we get back into our main list of benefits, and the next one is Scentsy training. And like I said before, I can't speak for any other sales companies because I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that they would probably have training for their consultants as well to make sure that they are successful. But personally, I can speak for Scentsy, and I know that Scentsy has ample training. And if you utilize the training that's offered to you, there's no reason why you won't be successful. So speaking for Scentsy, just a few of the training resources that I know are available. You have weekly training calls Now, these training calls are optional. They're focused on different things every week, of course. And you have the option to tune in live or check it out later if you're busy at the call time. And those are always really helpful, especially in times like right now. Say we're coming into a transition month, and this Tuesday we're going to be focusing all on the brand new product. And I think it's going to be one of the most full training calls, just because everybody's going to want to utilize the training for the new product to make sure that they're familiar with it all, where none of us have tried it or sold it yet, because it's all brand new. So then we have ample resources, and by that I just mean in your workstation you have a resource tab, and in that resource tab there is literally a resource for anything that you could possibly imagine. There's hosting tips, there's flyers that you can use for all different things, there's PNG forms of each one of our items to make your own flyers, there's the logos, there's marketing kits, there's just everything that you could possibly need to use. And that's updated all the time. So every time that there's something new going on, there will be a resource added for you to download and to use to market that. Upline support. I know that with my upline personally, it doesn't matter if that consultant is connected to you. If you have a question, you ask it and you're gonna get an answer very quickly, and it's going to be a very helpful answer. There's something about the Sensi spirit, like I mentioned before. It's contagious, and it doesn't really matter what consultant you're talking to. If you know the answer and you know a way to help them, you're probably going to help them. So updated news, that goes along with what I just set up in the resources. Your news is updated all the time. So any news updates that you need to know, if you go check out your news tab, you're going to find out about it. You're usually already going to have an email in your email that's telling you that the information's there. And all that's pretty helpful. And then you also have your training center. And your training center is going to be like your little haven when it comes to growing your business or improving on anything. I still find myself in the training center all the time looking up little tips and watching videos when I'm bored, because there's videos, again, for literally everything, and training calls, and that's where all your calls go. After they're done, your Tuesday weekly training calls will go into your training center, and you can watch them, and there's always new ones, and there's helpful things for everything and walkthroughs for everything that you'd want to do and things like that. And if you can't find it on your training center, you can find it on YouTube. I have YouTube videos down there. I find that even on YouTube, if there's a new product that you haven't yet seen in person, just looking up unboxing videos are really helpful, because you can kind of see in person, well, not in person, but as close to in person as you can get, someone else kind of interacting with the product, and it helps you get an idea, hear their opinions and firsthand information on that product. And that's always really helpful. Your uploadable and printable files, those are all in your resources. Like I mentioned, anything that is in the resource center, you don't have to screenshot it and kind of guess shot. You can upload it. You can print it. We have our printable labels and things like that to personalize, and everything's really easy to access. Training event opportunity. For an example, tomorrow I head off to Halifax to the World Tour. That's going to be an amazing venue, and there's always opportunities like that, depending on where you live. Some places have more than others, but you're always going to be involved no matter where you live. Online resources, that goes with the YouTube and the training and everything like that. If you are looking for a picture that's for some reason not in the resource center, you can find it on Google, you can find it on Instagram. Scensy's a very known thing, and if you look it up, Pinterest is good too. Online resources are great. Photos and videos, that's the same deal. You have lots of those to train you and get you prepared. Business supplies, we have a whole Scentsy family store. Vistaprint's an amazing resource if you want to personalize your business cards. Coworker support, that goes with the upline support, only sometimes your coworkers aren't in your upline or downline at all. And like I said, if you're a Scentsy consultant, you usually want to help other Scentsy consultants. So those are just some of the training resources that come along with Scentsy in specific. Like I said, I can't speak for other direct sales companies at all because I don't know what they offer. But I'm sure that whatever company you're looking into, if you were to take some time to research what they have available for training, you're going to be pretty impressed. So I'm cutting myself short for time here just as I knew I would. So we're going to jump into the next benefit on the list, which is opportunities. And the opportunities are endless, of course. And if you haven't figured out that there are ample opportunities from this business by now, from everything that I've been saying, then I don't really know why I spent the time saying everything that I've been saying. Some of the opportunities, like the things we mentioned, are the income and the opportunity to grow relationships and the opportunity to work from home and to enjoy the product for free and for discounted price. And then we have to travel for free. And for me, that's a big one. You don't often get the opportunity to travel for free. And I know you need to earn it, but it's still an opportunity that's there and it gives you something to thrive for. And if you earn it, then that's awesome because then you have that memory to add to your books. And a lot more consultants earn the trips than what you'd actually think. And I've been finding that out more and more throughout my time being with Scentsy. And we've been going over the opportunities that arise from Scentsy the whole time. So I think that you probably have a good grasp of that. The next one on the list is support. And again, it kind of goes along with the relationships that we discussed and the training. And there's a lot of support within the Sensi family. And usually not even just in the Sensi family. Usually your family is going to be pretty supportive and your friends are going to be pretty supportive of your business and your customers and things like that. And if they're not, then you should reevaluate the people that you're surrounding yourself with because you definitely need support, and support something that comes along with this business. So next up we have self-gratitude, and I have here, how will I gain self-gratitude from Scentsy? That was probably the one that people were the most confused about reading the list. How am I going to be appreciative towards myself if I take this plunge? So I just put up this picture here, and it says, did you know? Blockbuster passed on buying Netflix for $40 million because they didn't understand their business model. It was too different for their traditional thinking. Now, most Blockbusters are shut down while Netflix has 50 million plus customers, and it's worth an estimated $19.7 billion. So don't think like Blockbusters and miss out on huge business opportunities just because it's a different business than what you're used to. And if you don't believe me, you can take a moment and you can Google Bill Gates, Donald Trump, the Wall Street Journals, and their opinions and quotes on direct selling. You can pause this video and you can look through it and then come back. They all state that if they lost it all and had to start over, they would find a good network marketing company and they would get to work. So these are really successful people, very, very successful people, who are saying that if they lost all the money that they have, the best way that they could think of to build it all back quickly is to use a network marketing company. Also, did you know that 82% of women that are making over $100,000 per year doing so through direct sales or network marketing? That's 82%. That's a very, very high statistic when you think about it. So do you think when I read this, I didn't feel self-gratitude for the fact that I took the decision to join Scentsy? Just aside from that, I can think of so many different scenarios where you're going to feel self-gratitude in the business. And it kind of brings us back to what I said about when you first open your starter kit and you have that amazing rush of just being able to smell all the product and seeing the blessings that you just opened up for yourself. And of course, you're going to feel self-gratitude the moment that happens. And you're going to feel self-gratitude every single time that you get paid. And you're going to feel self-gratitude every single time that you meet a goal or set a new standard for yourself. Those kind of things are important. And every single time that you succeed, you're going to feel a lot more gratitude towards yourself than you would with other situations because you completely did it yourself. And it was with your own business. And you built it from the ground up. And if we think back 50 or 100 years ago to the kind of things that you would have to consider in order to be successful with self-employment and starting your own business, you would need to find yourself a space. And you would need to consider the price of that space, the rent, and the work that's put into maintaining that space. And you'd need to find yourself employees, like I mentioned before, and you'd need to make sure that you're going to make enough money to pay those employees and pay your rent and still be profiting, so that you're not just running a business for free and not making anything off of it. Or even worse, paying out for a business and not making anything at all but spending. So if those people back then could do it, then you can definitely do it with a business in a box. Imagine how excited they would have felt if they would have found out that everything that they needed to start their store was going to be delivered to them at their door, conveniently in a nice little box, for them to completely run outside of their home. And they don't even need to pay any additional rent because they're already paying rent to live where you're living. And you don't need to pay any additional stock supply because all your stock's in the box. And if you run out of stock, it's all right because your business is completely ran from a system where company sends product only when you need it. You don't need to think about inventory and shuffle and hustle and bustle with all that stuff unless you want to. So that is why it has become the new sales norm. It's more convenient, it's more efficient for the workers, and it's definitely more worth it. It gives you that self-gratitude that I'm talking about, and it gives you that sense of entitlement to succeed. You want to do good, and you will appreciate every single time that you do. So the next one's tax returns, and I know we talked about that briefly, but I do want to go over it again. And I do have it on my list of benefits because it's, of course, a big benefit. And it's actually the reason that a lot of people decide to get into the direct sales, is because they hear about the possibility of the bigger tax returns and the benefits of tax time when you're self-employed. So again, I just Googled the income possibility of tax time just to get an idea for this slide. And I came across this awesome little quote here, and it's what I decided to use. It says, "Tax day is backwards day. It's the day a high income becomes a bad thing, and huge expenses mean it's been a great year. It's also the day that self-employed stops being about the inability to convince anyone that you have real experience and becomes instead a radiant doorway to the golden land of tax deductions." So basically what that's saying is that on tax day, it's a backwards day. When you have high income throughout the year, that's a good thing. You're stable throughout the year. And then tax time comes and you have to claim all that, and you get a big slap in the face when you owe a bunch of money to the government. Or it can go the other way, and you can be self-employed, and you can make a lot of money all through the year. And then you can also claim all the things that you spent your money on, where when you're working for other companies, you can't do that because they're the ones claiming it. So you think about things like your clothes. You have to buy clothes. You have to wear business clothes. When you're working from home, all your clothes are business clothes because you're always working. So you can claim those. You can claim your mortgage or your rent. You can claim your car payment, and you can claim your gas, anything like that. Anytime that you want to buy Scentsy for your own personal use, you get to claim that. Anytime you want to buy Scentsy for stock, you of course get to claim that. Anytime you want to run a personal special, if you keep track of the money that you've spent on that personal special, you can claim that back. So the benefits are huge. I have a list here from an unknown director, and she's just given us a list of the things that she was able to claim last year on her tax return, just to give you an idea. So she has any Scentsy stuff I buy from Sensi Family Store, my vehicle, insurance, house insurance, security system for my home, some grocery receipts, trailer, gas, Mexico and Vegas for Scentsy events, Mexico and rent while I'm here, any stuff I buy from other direct salespeople, internet, cell phone, electricity, part of the rent, restaurant bills, post office, dollar store, startup kit, monthly website subscriptions, cross-border fees. Literally keep every receipt, and a good accountant will know how to use them. Clothes, you can write off clothes too. Now, this is just a list that I'm reading, again, just comments off of a random post where someone had asked what kind of things you can claim. And there's a lot of other possibilities too. Those are just some of the examples. So when you think about being able to claim all of that stuff, and you think about the possibility of getting a big chunk of that back at tax time, that in itself is a huge income possibility, aside from what you're making monthly. Now, of course, you need to claim what you're making monthly as well, and that will get taxed, but it's all going to add out that you get a great return at the end of the year, and it's going to be obviously a positive benefit for your life. So the next one on the list is family enhancement. And family enhancement, again, is a huge, huge, huge part of the direct sales field. It's the main reason that most people decide that they want to work from home. They want to enhance their family time, and they want to be able to make more money while spending more time with their family and the people that they care about. And it might not even be family. You might consider your friends family, so you're enhancing your relationship with your friends as well, because you have more free time to spend with them and grow the relationship, and you're still making money and working at the same time. So you can be a stay-at-home mom and a working mom at the same time, and you can choose both. You don't have to be one of those people who is constantly trying to pick up extra shifts and spending all their time at work because they need the extra money. Because your extra shift and getting your extra money could be as easy as scooping up your little girl, like the lady in the picture, and putting her on your knee and making a few phone calls. And your family's going to love that. And there's no better coworker than your own children or your own family. And I know my son, he absolutely just loves helping me with work. And he's my official little Scentsy helper, like it says on his shirt there in the picture. And there's nothing that he likes more than being involved with helping mom do what she does. And of course he likes the product. And we are a Sensi family through and through. And we live Sensi and we use Sensi. And we are just amazed every day by the quality of the product, including him. But if you were to ask him why he loves Sensi, he's not going to tell you that he loves it because of the product. He's going to tell you that he loves it because it allows him to spend more time with me. And it allows him to be home. And it's what he calls his home days. Yes, he goes to the babysitters because I need to be able to focus on my schooling, but I involve him as much as I can in my work, and working from home allows me to do that. And he feels very proud of himself when he's able to help me out, and the joy he feels when I let him bring orders to the door for people and help me, and the fun that he experiences with helping me make samples and helping me do videos and helping me promote. And he's a little mini entrepreneur himself already. So that's a big part in family enhancement. And of course, your family is going to be enhanced just by all of that, and the amount of time that you get to spend with your family while you're still making money and while they still feel involved, and the things that you're able to provide for your family because of the income that you gain. It all goes hand in hand. And I mean, even if you're not a mom and you're running your business, it's the same idea with your family and friends, like I'd mentioned before, and the relationships that you have with them and the time that you're able to spend on actually nourishing that relationship and bringing it to the point where you want it to be while you're still making money for yourself. And although it's rewarding, and although it's definitely worth it, and it's definitely amazing, that doesn't make it any easier. It's still a lot of work to run your own business and to do it all yourself. So I just wanted to give a little shout out to the women that are raising businesses and babies at the same time. It takes a lot of inner strength to be able to do everything that you do on a daily basis. And being a full-time mom is one of the hardest jobs, and that's actually harder than anything that you do within your sales business. So the fact that you're still able to wake up in the morning and strive to make money, and to make that money on your own independently with your very own business and your very own strategies, that's pride worthy. It's definitely worth the pride that you have. And I know firsthand that, like I said, even though it's amazing and it's definitely worth it, there are days that are hard, just like with every job. And our shoulders get achy and our muscles get tired, just like everyone else sitting at our desk and doing the things we do. And we step out of our comfort zone a lot with doing things with new customers and things like that when we're expanding. So a lot of that takes a lot of trying effort. And in my personal opinion, the two most rewarding jobs in the world are parenting and running your own business. So the rewards that you gain from both of those jobs, and especially when you're doing both of them at once, it's amazing, and it definitely does deserve recognition. So congratulations, and keep it going to the people who are already doing that. And even bigger congratulations to the people who are considering doing that and stepping out of their comfort zone and making that one big life-changing step to providing yourself with the life enhancement that you deserve. And that brings us to the end of my video. And I just wanted to thank everybody who actually sat through and watched the whole thing, if there was anybody. And I hope that you actually took into consideration some of the things that I was telling you, and that you consider joining me along this amazing journey, and that you've seen that there are definitely quite a few benefits that you can gain. And if there wasn't, then I don't know how I could have spent an hour discussing them. I don't just make this stuff up, it's all real, and I've challenged myself big time to go out of my comfort zone today by sharing all this stuff with you and voicing all this, because I don't like to do talking videos very much, and I really don't like my voice. So preparing this for you guys means a lot to me, and I was truly doing it because I feel like some people might benefit from it. And if you ever wondered how Scentsy could change your life, these are basically the main ways that they can change your life. And like I said at the beginning, it's only a small portion of the ways that it can change your life. And I know it seems like I talked about a lot of stuff, but I promise you, I could go on for a lot longer about the way that this business has blessed my life. And it's not just about Scentsy, it's about any direct sales business. And the point of this video was just how direct sales is becoming the business norm and the future of direct sales, and how important it is that if you've ever considered doing it, to do it now when it's in its growing peak. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to get a hold of me and ask me, and I'll be sure to answer them to the best of my ability. You can find me on Facebook under Shizz Scentsational Scentsy, and my link is www.facebook.com/ShizzScents. That'd be the easiest way to find me, or you can message me right on my personal Facebook. And I'll be sure to answer your questions to the best of my ability for sure, and make you feel as comfortable as I can with any of your concerns or fears or questions. And if you've ever considered this journey, I would definitely love to have you take it alongside me, and I would love to train you the best I can. And I feel really strongly about leading my team to success, making sure that everybody who decides to take this journey gets the most of it. So, like I said before, you can either watch me succeed or you can succeed with me. Choose wisely.